Okay everyone, I'm going to show you now how 17 Hats will automate a workflow for you for an online order. So let's start with the contact, and I'm going to use my test subject here. Once you input that contact, let's add a new project, and this project is going to be called online order number, and just make up a number. This goes in the default calendar, and if you have to put a date in, so I always put today's date. And then the location in this one, I put the tracking number for FedEx, and I'll show you why here in a minute. So now that this project has been created, we are going to go ahead and while you're in here, you can add a phone conversation that you've had with them, any notes that you have. You might want to take a screenshot of the order form from the Business Center and put it here in Files. But I'm going to do a workflow. And this is something that I've set up already. I'm just going to show you how it works here. This is the online orders follow-up. When you activate that workflow, this is what I've already created for a typical. These are the steps that a typical online order would need to have for follow-up afterwards. So the first is, and all of these are templates, the first thing I need to do is review the online order that says your order is shipped. And here it has the template that I've already created. It pre-fills with the project name, which is why I put the order number in project name, and the product location as the tracking number. That's just been the best way that I've found to do this. So it pre-populates with all of that, and I can just review and send. You can even have this send without reviewing it. I just like to review them. And then it sets a task for me, a to-do item, for a week later, telling me to check and make sure the item was delivered. So I check that FedEx number, make sure it was delivered, and I check that little box there. Once I do, it sends up another task here for me to review this email. And this is another template that I've created that says, thank you again for your order. This is how you find me on my website, share the love, and also information about becoming an ambassador. Send that out. Now it's also going to remind me to make sure I've added them to MailChimp, and you can go out of order here. So if I have time on the day when I send the first email, I might go ahead and add them to MailChimp then and check that box. Once I do that, a note pops up to add to that contact, and I'm going to put added to MailChimp. And then I also may want to keep track of the orders for each individual person in this project. And if I do, I could just take a screenshot from my Business Center and add a note with that, or a file. Check that, done. And then I'm going to call and confirm receipt of the order, or maybe you send them a thank you card, whatever you want. Check that box. And then this is going to say, what's your phone log? I talked to Steve on the phone. He loves everything. Save. So now all of these things are updated in that project workflow for that person. So if I go back to projects, this is Steve, his online order number, da-da-da. And it shows me again, email, that you sent those emails, the workflow you've done. You can even add other notes. You can do phone logs, that kind of thing. Doesn't necessarily have to be in that project workflow, but you can also start a new project for the next order. The next order. You can even make a workflow for the paper orders that you're doing. So maybe, make a workflow for a party order, and when you put that in there, it reminds you to send a thank you note, charge the card, scan your documents, those kind of things. All very simple, easy workflow, so now you don't have to think about it anymore. When you get an online order, you set up the contact in here, and boom, you're done. You don't have to keep remembering to go back and forth. That's what I love about 17 Hats.